What are the main impacts of the Trump administration on energy policy?
The main impacts today are efforts to revive the coal industry and keep the nuclear industry strong. And by implication, that would have a negative impact on natural gas and renewables. Now, what can actually be legally required is still uncertain. There were directives from the Trump Department of Energy to the independent regulator in the U.S., the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, to look at resilience standards, to look at grid reliability as a way of subsidizing coal and nuclear. Those efforts have been rejected by the independent regulator, but that does not mean that the White House will not continue to look for other ways to have an impact. And then in terms of revoking the Clean Power Plan, revoking mileage standard, tightening from the Obama administration, pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord, all are showing a push that I would say is a combination of pro-fossil fuel and a little bit of anti-renewable, maybe a little bit of both. That's the trend. I don't think the markets are going there, but that's certainly what the administration is trying to do.
And how do you see the U.S. electricity sector changing in the future?
Well, I break down the sources of electricity generation into coal, nuclear, natural gas, renewables, which is wind, solar, geothermal, biomass, waves, the like, and energy efficiency, the non-production of electricity. I see much less coal. I see natural gas will peak, but probably we'll see more and more natural gas at least for the next decade. Biggest increases will be renewables and energy efficiency. I don't see any expansion of nuclear until there is public acceptance, at least of small modular reactors, which have to go through a lengthy licensing process with the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and could be at least a decade away. So no new nuclear, less coal, natural gas trending up for a period of time, but the real upticks I think will be in renewables in general, some hydro as well, and energy efficiency.
And what are the biggest challenges to renewables making up a larger share of electricity generation in the U.S.?
So many different factors. Everyone has its issues. There's no question that wind has an impact on birds. There is no question that both wind and solar have a tremendous impact on overall land use, especially solar. So permitting is certainly an issue. We're already seeing resistance to some solar in California, which is the leader in the U.S. in renewable energy. I don't think cost is going to be a factor. I think the costs will continue to come down. So the real question is to the extent to which government at the state level, I'm not counting on the federal for anything in the short term, can push through that permitting process to help overcome those challenges.